What is going on, guys? We are back for another DSP video. And this week, DSP wage quits Smark guys, threatens to wage quit Legos and every single game he plays. And also, he gets robbed by Walmart. All this and more coming up soon. And we start today on Sunday, where Wario64 shows off GameStop new amiibo pricing. And of course, if you know DSP, he hates Nintendo, which is going to be ironic considering what happens later in the week. And he quotes it and says, you have to be mentally unstable to buy these. They will sell out, guaranteed. And then also, the Stellar Blade, DSP's most hated game of all time, has statues as well. And DSP, you have to be mentally unstable to, meh, why bother, lol. And of course, Mr. 220 himself, in the past, look at all the statues that he had in his condo. And it seems like everyone is turning against DSP. Remember, back in the summertime, he was on Cultaholic's wrestling show. But now it appears they prefer PWR over DSP.
Daddy.
Good boy.
Dark Side Flow, thank you very much. Can I get a shout out to all the hot young dudes in the PWR army? Big shout out to all the hot young dudes in the PWR army. I don't understand that.
I don't know
Is that
that
Dark
one.
Side Filthy? He's called Dark Side.
Wrestling.
Yeah, it's pro wrestling. What have I just said?
Bro, what's
What have I
going
just
on?
said?
What's happening? What's he done?
Oh,
Oh,
no,
no, he's
someone's
done
gone, oh,
something.
no, Adam.
He's done something bad.
What have I done? What have you just done to me?
And would you look at that? Every single week, spending for Down From the Rafters has gone up. In the same time, he becomes a kick partner and gets paid weekly. And this week is no exception, as he spent $862 in WWE Champions. Then look at this. DSP's Patreon is down to 30 people. Most likely it's people that forgot to unsubscribe or have auto pay on. And I particularly like support the content behind the scenes tier, where he says, give me money and I will not shout you out. What a scumbag. And also, by the way, he's still promoting that he'll do shoutouts when you become a Patreon on stream, which he never does. And he's still promoting the one-on-one private reacts, which he doesn't do anymore, which is about 76 Canadian, which would be about $50 American. And then Silence of the Ham points out that Phil hasn't broke 1,000 views on any uploads in 5 days straight. And the last one was drama farming. But remember, he's not Mr. Drama, he doesn't want to be part of drama, he has nothing to do with drama. Then we have these in the pre-stream. We have DH1. Remember, this is Easter that he's streaming on. For someone who makes their own schedule and can have any day off they want, seems weird that you didn't want to take today off to spend the holiday with your wife. And then we have Piper, who quotes it and says, huh? And then DSP, is this guy stupid or something? I just had 2 days off, lol. I spent a ton of time with Kat, and now I'm back for a work week. Wow, how bizarre. Hello, Jade. Then goes on to say about holidays, when you're your own boss, you realize that days are just days and holidays are meaningless. What's meaningful is getting to spend time with family when you can. Which is weird because you're complaining you don't have time to spend with them, then a holiday happens and you decide to stream instead of spend time with them. Getting to spend time with family when you can, not on exact dates. We didn't celebrate our anniversary until Friday, but we had an amazing day when we did. It's all just semantics and marketing. Now keep in mind too, Kat's birthday, no day off. Valentine's Day, no day off. Wedding anniversary, no day off. So he doesn't celebrate any of those. However, his birthday's a big thing, and he spends it streaming and builds it up as a holiday. So you can see how he values himself compared to his family. Then he opened up the stream and said, he's working on Easter because it's just another day. It doesn't mean anything. Says he doesn't have to spend time with his family today. And then goes on to say that he's not rich and he has to work today. But remember guys, he's not broke, he's not poor, but he's also not rich and he needs to work to make money, dude. Then you're never gonna believe this. This is how they celebrated the entire anniversary a week later after the actual anniversary. They got DoorDash and went shopping. And then they played with Jasper. So what exactly was different from any other day, Phil? Of course, what DSP's doing here is he's normalizing it. Saying, I don't care about the wedding anniversary. I don't care about Valentine's Day. I don't care about your birthday. It's all about me. And now DSP is changing because before, like I said, he doesn't want anything to do with drama. He doesn't want to do drama. He doesn't want to be in drama. He doesn't want to be roped into doing drama. But now he's saying, I don't want to do drama all the time, which means he's open to doing drama. And he was very disappointed in the last Smark guys. Not because of the host, but because people were not supporting it. And guys, he's now being honest and telling you, you need to support Smark guys, especially tomorrow's stream, which is his WrestleMania stream. And in the past, he said he expects $1,000 on the WrestleMania stream. Let's see how well that goes for him. Then DSP had a big idea, something different for DSP Tries It. Are you ready for this? He's gonna eat more food. That is right. That's his big idea, to change things up, make it fresh again. And of course, if we're talking about fresh, we're talking about Subway. And DSP decided to check out their menu, even though he's always against Subway, saying it's garbage, it's horrible, he'll never eat it. However, when money gets involved, all of a sudden, Subway's a good idea, dude. And we have this from Rebsy. DSP went full on man-child over Subway's menu.
Oh! Oh! Did you guys see this? A foot-long cookie? A dipper? What the fuck is this? Look at that. So they take a foot-long piece of cardboard and they put Doritos in it, and then they pour random toppings on it, and then they sell it to you. Ugh. What is that? A foot-long cookie. What are these dippers? What? Tender chicken strips draped in a melty American cheese and rolled up into 2 6-inch pieces of pillowy lavash wrap. What the hell is lavash? This is nasty. Oh. Look, all they do, they just open a bag of Doritos. They literally do. They open a bag of Doritos of your choice, and they just put toppings on it. The cold-ass rubbery steak. They just toss some cheddar cheese. They put like some tomato. Oh, no. Welcome to America.
And then we have Dalton. I got nothing witty to say. Fuck Phil.
People are, oh, why are you working on Easter? Because I just had 2 days off. Oh, but it's a holiday. Okay. Allow me to explain something. As you get older, you come to realize this. And perhaps if you ever get the opportunity to be your own boss, this will be even more apropos. Okay? Literally, holidays are just a date. Do you get that? Like, it's not the fact that today is Easter. And so today, I should have taken today off to celebrate Easter with my family because it's so important to have it on that day. It doesn't matter. What matters is having the time to celebrate with family and friends, having that time to recuperate, to have meaningful moments. That's what matters. The date doesn't matter. Get it? It just doesn't. You know, we didn't get to celebrate our anniversary on our anniversary because we were all busy, but we had a great couple of days where we celebrated together and had a ton of fun. Did it matter that it wasn't on the exact day? Of course it didn't. You know, some years I have my birthday off. Some years I work on my birthday. It's fine. All you got to do is be sure that you are spending enough time with those that matter the most to you. And as long as you are, it doesn't matter what the actual date is. It's all good. But I just love how people come up with the weirdest things. I had 2 days off. Why are you working today? Because I just had 2 days off. Well, I don't get it. You make your own schedule. Why not have a third? Why not have a fourth? Why not have a 7 days in a row? Why not have 2 months in a row? Why work ever again? Oh, yeah. Because I'm not rich. Because I actually do need to work to earn a living. It's that simple. When you are someone who puts out meaningful, positive content, you have to be putting it out at a regular pace so that people will come by and support said content. It's not like I'm some e-celebrity that people just open their wallets and toss thousands of dollars at every time that I get on stream. I'm not a harmful individual who sets out to either lie and shill to you constantly so you'll spend money on paid sponsorships and products, or sits here bullying people on the internet constantly and you get your jollies off on it. Instead, I actually have to like work, get it? And I'm happy with my job. I'm happy with who I am and and all of this. I'm really happy that I got to spend time with my wife for 2 straight days.
Then DSP talking about Smart Guys yet again, because tomorrow, remember, is his WrestleMania show. And he says spending 4 hours talking about wrestling is effort, so he hopes you'll support him. And then for the longest time, DSP was preaching how Walmart is bad. They crush small businesses. They're horrible, they're scumbags, all this stuff. Well, guess what, guys? DSP might shop with Walmart to get a Switch too. It's funny how as soon as he wants something, his morals, his values go out the window. It's almost like he's the biggest scumbag on the planet. And one of the weirdest things ever is that he played all the Life is Strange video games, and now he's realizing that they're too leftist and liberal, saying that they're trying to put gay characters into the video game and shoehorn them and push their own message. That is right, DSP played all those games and is just now realizing it's a gay dating simulator. And then he was begging like crazy, please, let's hit the goal right now before the pre-stream ends so I don't have to worry about it all day. But remember guys, he's not broke, he's not poor, but he really needs that money right now. And then DSP played Minecraft on Easter, and he kept dying in Minecraft. You know how hard it is to constantly die in Minecraft, a game for children? But he doesn't blame himself. He blames the game, saying they messed up the game. That is right. That is right. Every single time he dies in a game, doesn't matter what game it is, it's always the game's fault. They fucked that part up, dude. Then DSP was crying about the game, Minecraft, and saying that it's too ridiculously hard for its own good. And the money wasn't there. And now, the first game of the week, he's threatened to rage quit Minecraft. That is right, another children's game that he has now threatened to rage quit. And then, all of a sudden, you'll never believe this, guys, Anonymous, out of nowhere, with a $30 tip, and then a $100 tip, saved the stream, and all of a sudden, the game's good again. And he clocks out extremely fast. Then the daily rap was all about, if you don't continue to give me money, I will rage quit everything. And he titles it, Chill Return, Minecraft Pain and Anguish, Disco Elysium Fun, the daily rap. And now we talk about Monday, the very last ever episode of Smart Guys. That is right, the WrestleMania version of Smart Guys. How well did it do for DSP? Well, we're gonna find out very soon. Now let's do a checkup on DSP Throwback and look at that. 62 views in 4 months, 221 views in 4 months, 112 in 4 months, 183 in 4 months, 82 in 4 months, 151 views in 4 months, and 62 views in 4 months. I wonder why he's not working on this anymore. And then apparently some sick son of a bitch sent Dave's big coloring book with Cat on the cover to Cat and said it was from Linda and enjoy Cat. Then we have some band names from Kick from the day before, including DSP Affiliate Grift Real, Cyrax 43, Philip 220, Did You Enjoy Casino Stream Pig, PWR is on level 2, Get It, Invisible Creeper Derek Ip, Get the Rope Piggy Real, Band to Protect, Ego Sad Pig F-Slur, and YouTube Bag Short November 2022. And then DSP was pissy because his attendance was not what he expected it to be for the WrestleMania episode of Smart Guys, as he puts this in the pre-stream. Yes, the podcast will be shorter today overall. Good morning to all 25 of you. I'm using the restroom and starting, so I guess people will just have to miss the beginning. Oh well. I warned everyone, LOL. And then DSP put this out on Twitter. My Smart Guys WrestleMania 41 Super Show is now live, and you can watch it in entirety here. Thank you to all who engaged and supported my pro wrestling commentary efforts since January. And as soon as he started up, he claimed that his stream was getting copyright claimed. He thought at first it was the fan music. Then someone suggested it was the pictures in the picture frame. And even at one point saying, oh, maybe it's the shirt, maybe the logo is causing you to get claimed. So DSP, being the dumbass that he is, actually believed them and changed his shirt. And look at that, ever since DSP became a Kick partner, the view bots have been there. Because remember, he gets paid per viewer and engagement. And look at that, 5,116 people watching on Kick. Definitely not trying to scam that partnership. However, we have Factual Observer who shows off that he sent an email to Kick about these view bots and him trying to scam money out of them. Now, will anything come out of this? Probably not. But it's funny, people are actually reaching out and telling Kick what's going on. Hi there, thank you for reaching out. We will ensure that our moderation team is informed, and they will conduct an investigation into the matter. Any required actions will be implemented accordingly. We appreciate your efforts to bring this to our attention. If you have any additional questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to contact us. Kind regards, Kick.com. And look at this. Look at this absolute monster of an OBS setup. DSP just pasted over Ralph's setup here. And that right there, my friends, is 17 years of quote-unquote work. And throughout the whole thing, DSP was oblivious to everything that was going on, and his audience had to tell him, that's right, the host of the show, what was actually going on. Including, during Drew McIntyre's entrance, there was a Doom video game stand in the middle of the entrance. Drew himself was dressed like Doomslayer, and also on commentary they said he was dressed like Doomslayer. And on commentary they even said this is to advertise the new game that's coming out soon. And DSP didn't realize this is an advertisement, and his audience had to tell him that it was an advertisement. Of course, he was probably drunk playing WWE Champions at the time. Then DSP was bragging about the last Smark guys that got 14.5k views. Of course, that's with view bots, and I believe it's down to like 6 or 5,000 now. But also saying that people are losing interest. And he talked about how there's so many other commentary shows and it's oversaturated. And at one point said that his Smark guys predated the internet wrestling community. That is right. Another thing he claims that is outside the realms of reality. And DSP is now complaining about WWE taking sponsorships for WrestleMania, saying they don't fit, and they sold out WWE just to make money, and says WWE needs a reevaluation because it's not working and they don't know what they're doing. That is right, the multi-billion-dollar corporation doesn't know what to do. They need advice from the jerk-off that went bankrupt for $500,000. There's a reason you're called $500,000 Phil. And then he also claimed he got rid of all his collectibles and statues from Connecticut many years ago. He even, on his bankruptcy form, said, I don't have anything. However, there's also streams where he brings out like a dragon statue during Skyrim that he just happened to have in storage. And then also that lightning in a bottle thing, I think it's from like Metal Gear or Halo or some game, and he put it in his background for a while. But remember, he has no collectibles. He's an honest guy, dude. Then we have Otter. DSP reacts, dead, not enough money. DSP throwback, dead, not enough money. Retro reacts, dead, not enough money. Brunel family game night, dead, not enough money. DS politics, dead, not enough money. And Smart guys now, dead, not enough money. Fingers crossed, DSP Gaming is next. But you know what? Let's hear from DSP himself, and let's hear the cope about Smart guys being dead.
Insults, and as you can see, take a look at today's show. We just did a 4-hour, incredibly solid wrestling show, only covering wrestling and WrestleMania. And we didn't even hit my support goal, as if it were a normal stream. If I had played a game, I would have hit it. If I had just sat here and hung out with you guys, I would have hit it. If I had built Legos, I would have hit it. So I think this is the problem with kind of straight up commentary when it comes to a topic, is that it's very hard, especially the internet wrestling community in the last decade, from what I'm to understand, okay? In the last decade, the internet wrestling community became a lot bigger, and a lot of people are now known for being the people who do wrestling, right? It's kind of like, for example, when I play a Nintendo game, I have a great time with it, But a lot of people say, but Phil, people don't come by DSP Gaming to watch Nintendo. There's already established creators who do that. And I'm like, well, that kind of sucks because I like Nintendo and I want to share Nintendo with all of you, my passion for Nintendo first-party games, but they don't usually work that well as playthroughs. It's kind of the same thing with Smark guys. Like, in my opinion here, I'm putting in a lot of effort to watching wrestling, giving commentary on it, getting the show produced and everything here for you. But I just don't know if there's enough people who are going to come by and watch and support the show that it warrants the amount of time and effort that I put into it. Like, no lie, when I do other streams, it's very easy to set up and do. This show is the hardest show I do all week because I got to have an intro. I got to change the graphics and the color scheme. I got to have a guest that's lined up. I got to do the logistics of Discord and everything. I mean, thank God I got these headphones. These headphones work way easier than the other ones I was using. So I'm glad I bought these for Discord use. These work like...
The other thing that I found funny is now that he's wage quitting Smart Guys, he never has to pay a co-host. Remember those 3 jackasses that he did as guest hosts? Well, guess what, guys? None of you got the job, because the job is going away. And by the way, all that money I made on all those streams, it's all mine, dudes. And it looks like the WrestleMania version of Smart Guys was the worst performance Smart Guys ever. $25 in tips, $18 in super chat, 1 YouTube membership for $97, fee adjusted, $88. Amazing. Then during gameplay, he had capture device issues and he accidentally turned off the kick stream. You're on quite the roll here, Phil. And then people noticed, there's no money coming in. What's going on? Why is he so calm? And the Drew Corporation put this in. I can't hear anything, but he seems remarkably calm, given the slow stream. I'm guessing he knows that a big contribution is coming, and the goal is not in danger. Unfortunately, you're wrong, Drew, and the money never came in. However, one dent that did support is Gamer Stevie, who gives him $15 and apologizes for being immature months ago in DSP's chat. So DSP finally finished Adamfall and did Q&A right after, and the money was still not coming in. So let's see how this went for DSP.
See what's over there, and this is probably the finale of the game. Remember, what we're doing is we're taking this sample, we're supposed to put it in there. It's supposed to allow us to supposedly make a bomb that will destroy Oberon. All I hope is that he's telling the truth, because obviously we've made decisions based off of believing the guy. I hope that he hasn't been lying to us about his intentions, right? 672, 47 months as a member. He says, hashtag DSP goaling, too much beg, hard to watch now. Well, perhaps 672, if you actually contributed, it wouldn't be a problem. But instead, you just stand around complaining. Very nice. Let he who has already contributed cast the first stone. There you go. What's funny is I wasn't talking about that at all. He just brings it up out of the blue. You notice that? People who complain the most are usually the people who don't, you know, do anything about it. And then they whine. How do I feel about the Pope dying? What do you expect me to say? Like, honestly, do you think I would be like, oh, I'm happy about it? Here's the thing. I don't know the Pope. I don't. I haven't followed the Pope. I haven't followed his teachings. I haven't followed how he has been as a Pope, as a leader. I really have nothing to say. He lived a full life. He was like 88 or something now, and he passed away. So it's not like, oh, it's unfortunate he passed away because he died at such a young age. It wasn't tragic, you know? Usually the Pope, when they make them the Pope, they're already really old. I really have nothing to say on the subject. I'm not educated on it. I don't know, you know, I don't know the circumstances of how he died, but I know he's already old. You know, I don't really have much else to say. No, I don't even know what you're talking about, Final Fighter. I don't know what Factor is. Never heard of it. Excuse me. Okay, guys, we only got about 10 minutes left. Last chance to ask a question. Please tag me. And last chance to support the stream. Guys, please don't let me go 2 streams without hitting the goals today. What is it about Mondays? Seriously. I feel like whenever a day like this happens, it's the whole day, too. Like last week, if you remember, when I beat Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, we didn't hit the goal. And what did I play during the day that day? The whole day we didn't hit the goal. Right? Let's do it. Come on. Let's get back on track. We were doing so well. We had, again, after Pirate Yakuza, we had 6 straight streams of hitting the goals. And then today, Smark guys got us off track. Let's get back on track. I know that you guys enjoy my company. You come out and hang out with me. You support my stuff. Let's do it. Come on. Let's hit the goal tonight. Who's going to do it? We have only like 1 or 2 subs tonight. Let's get some subs over on Kick. We have no memberships tonight. Let's get some memberships for the community. I spent money on it, bought it early in December. No one gave 2 shits. It's because of the formula of the game being a Diablo style.
He was then asked what he thought about Adamfall, and he said, "It's okay, but it needs VATs." And DSP also threatened to rage quit Legos if the next stream is not well supported. Imagine this, every day you have Q&A, you have the pre-stream, and you have the same people day after day after day asking you questions. Of course, there's gonna be repeat questions, and DSP's complaining that people keep asking him the same questions. And the most DSP thing I've ever heard, DSP said he has seasonal allergies. And just like every year, his body will build up immunity to pollen in a few weeks, or if that doesn't work, he will take a pill. And the money still not coming in. And it is now 2 streams in a row. He has not made the goal, and he's very pissy about it.
All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I hung out with you for about half an hour, like I said, and now it's getting late. So I did my best today. I feel like today I put out good content for you. I feel like today was the best episode of Smark Guys, but hands down. And I feel like beating Adamfall and giving you 2 endings was good content. I hope that you enjoyed it. It's sad that we didn't hit any goals today. I hope that tomorrow we can get back on track. I'm going to be honest. I don't want to be off track. So I hope tomorrow when we play, what are we playing tomorrow? Oh, Blueprints, and we're going to do some Call of Duty tomorrow night. The only exception is if the Oblivion remaster does like drop out of nowhere and is live tomorrow, then tomorrow night I will actually be doing that just to give it a test. Like I'll play Oblivion on the live stream just to test it. All right. So that'll be what's tomorrow. So hopefully tomorrow we can get back on track. But for those who chilled, for those who hung out, I appreciate you. Thanks for chilling and for those who did support. And I'll see you all tomorrow.
And DSP is pissed about support. Even so, that he put in the title for the daily wrap, support falters. What a scumbag. And then we have some memes here. We got John Cena with Randy Orton behind them. The WWE Championship is literally any food. John Cena, a random DoorDash driver, and Randy Orton licking his lips, Cat Brunel. Then we have a Braun Breaker, spearing Carlito. Carlito is Cat's plans to exercise, and Braun Breaker is DoorDash. And I pointed this out as well. The funniest part of yesterday was DSP complaining about Smart Guys not hitting the goal and said he would have hit the goal if he played a game. Then, the night stream, he played a game and resulted in him not hitting the goal. And now we talk about Tuesday. And DSP decided to add a new slide to his slideshow. And look at that. It's a cartoon version of himself and his wife. But remember guys, she's not part of his content. And then you can tell he talked to the whales, he talked to the dolphins. He was mad because he did not hit the goal for the last 2 streams. And look at that, look at all those dollar tips from Cade. And just kept going. 10 of those at $1 each. And DSP starts off the stream saying he needs to hit the goal today because he didn't hit the goal on either stream yesterday. But remember guys, in DSP's own words, this is a joke every time he begs for money. And he's not serious about it, dude. It's part of his entertainment. And he's also not broke, dude. But he really needs to hit that goal. And DSP says that not giving him $150 a stream puts him off track. And you can tell he got spoiled, just like the vest streak. He gets used to having more money than usual, and now that's the norm. You have to go above and beyond that, dudes. Not only does he want $150 today to get back on track, he wants $450 to make up for the other streams and so he can DoorDash food on stream. Then DSP put up a poll to see if people wanted him to play a full playthrough of Oblivion, and the winning answer was no. And this was not good enough for him. He kept pushing the idea of doing a full playthrough of Oblivion yet again. And over he told people, you want this, you know you want this, and you also are going to give me money for it, dudes. And of course, one of the people that wants Oblivion is Cypress TV, the meth smoking mod of DSP. And of course, this is the day Oblivion Remastered drops, so it's day 1. And what does DSP do? He does not take advantage of this. He's gonna play it on the night stream. That is right, because Blueprints, the game no one asked for, is more important. And if he doesn't play it, people will be upset. And he feels for them, dude. And with Oblivion being 120 gigabytes, DSP said this is why Switch 2 needs more storage. And DSP again talked about Smark guys and how it's a lot of work, declares that watching TV is hard to make content since he has to sit and take notes. Now in the past, he said that reaction and reviews of TV, movies, and etc. was easy work. That's why people do it, to get an easy paycheck. And DSP has a brand new idea for new content. He's gonna take everything he has, Smart Guys, the political show, his pre-stream, and mash it all together. So basically, his new concept is to do full streams just like the pre-stream. And he also might do call-ins, of course, from selected people that he approves of.
Good ideas. Let's continue to talk about this and flesh it out further. Let's discuss it further this week on the podcast. The idea of a variety show where we talk about a variety of topics depending on what's actually hot and going on at the time. And we see where the conversation takes us. There's some scheduled guests. There's some maybe random guests off the cuff. And it could be an interesting thing. And it's not just dedicated to one topic. Therefore, it won't get stale or boring like the other efforts that I've tried. Okay, this is actually starting to sound good. We'd have to figure out when to do it, how often to do it, what to call it. A lot of things to figure out. Okay. All right, I like this idea. Let's flesh this idea out. Let's start talking about it more. All right? Let's try to figure out how to do it, how often to do it. I feel like it could definitely work as long as we decide how often to do it. Like if the show is a variety show. So let's say I do the show and it's a 3-hour show. Let's say it starts around 1 p.m. and it goes till 4, right? Well, maybe 1 hour can be wrestling discussion. 1 hour can be news. We get guests in for an hour to talk about various topics about things going on the internet. I think that'd be cool. And quite frankly, I think that could actually work because then the entire show isn't dependent on just one thing. People might just like the variety and come to support the show. People might come to, 1 week we know it's wrestling. The wrestling crowd will come by for that week. But then the next week we know it's not. But then a different crowd will. I kind of really like this idea. All right. Very nice. Okay. Well, that was a good one. Whoever that tipper was, solid idea. Let's think about this. Let's try to flesh it out. I think this could be a good new idea. All right, I like this idea. Let's flesh this idea out. Let's start talking about it more. All right? Let's try to figure out how to do it, how often to do it. I feel like it could definitely work as long as we decide how often to do it. Like if the show is a variety show. So let's say I do the show and it's a 3-hour show. Let's say it starts around 1 p.m. and it goes till 4, right? Well, maybe 1 hour can be wrestling discussion. 1 hour can be news. We get guests in for an hour to talk about various topics about things going on the internet. I think that'd be cool. And quite frankly, I think that could actually work because then the entire show isn't dependent on just one thing. People might just like the variety and come to support the show. People might come to, 1 week we know it's wrestling. The wrestling crowd will come by for that week. But then the next week we know it's not. But then a different crowd will. I kind of really like this idea. All right. Very nice. Okay. Well, that was a good one. Whoever that tipper was, solid idea. Let's think about this. Let's try to flesh it out. I think this could be a good new idea.
And remember, DSP is not like other content creators. He does not waste your time. And of course, DSP just left to brush his hair. Again, does not waste people's time.
Okay, I'd finally had enough. I was like, I'm gonna go whip my hair down, so I did. So hopefully now the hair stays in place and stops popping up like a big puffball. I really need a haircut, but I don't know when we're getting one. My wife takes care of that, so. Anyway.
And yet again, another stream where DSP takes a dig at PPP because everyone's saying the idea of doing a variety show is gonna fail yet again. And one of the reasons Smart Guys actually worked was because of the energy that PPP brought. And DSP by himself is a vacuum of charisma. And well, that led to DSP shit-talking PPP.
I received a $2 tip. Hey man, I'm looking forward to Oblivion. In my opinion, Smart Guys was a little dry. Maybe make a small segment once a week about wrestling or a short show before when you game at night. I don't think you can bring the same kind of sustained hype energy that PPP has during the show, but you excel as a gamer. Yeah, but you have to understand that PPP's energy, number one, is fake. It's fake. That's his show. He's a carnival barker. That's what he's good at. He's a Pied Piper for people who like to hear high-pitched screaming. Adults don't like that. Or at least mature adults don't like that. All right? He literally is just like, how can I explain? Like, he's like Fred. Actually, that might be the best description. PPP is like Fred. He's high-pitched, he's high energy, and he just squeals constantly. And there's an audience for it. The same people who come running when he rings a triangle. Do you get it? No, it's not normal people. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but normal people don't go for that shit. People who are in my audience don't enjoy that kind of content. What he was doing was actually hurting Smart Guys because people were coming to hear wrestling and all they heard was the insane screeching of a profoundly overweight, over crazy hyped guy who literally was just there to try to make money. And that's why I kicked him off the fucking show, you know? It wasn't working. But anyway, yeah, I get what you're saying, but I don't think that level of energy is what we need at all in any of my content, right? Like, I could sit here acting like a fucking spaz literally the entire show every day, all day, but who cares? Not me, you know? So, you know, the gaming thing, of course, yeah, that's something that he could never do. You know, he's not a gamer, so he couldn't jump in and do games like I do. He couldn't talk anything about the gaming industry. He's not versed in that shit at all. But yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe pro wrestling shouldn't be a dedicated show. Maybe, okay, all right. You know what? All right, you know what? Maybe we're coming up with a different idea. All right? Bear with me for a second here, everyone. How does this sound? All right? This is interesting now. Okay? How about this? How about a show that's a variety show? It's not a dedicated podcast like this show where we talk about my schedule and we talk about how stuff went and we talk about gaming news. But instead, it's a variety show. All right? About various different topics. Maybe one day we are covering big game news, but another day we're covering real life news. Maybe one day we're covering politics. Maybe one segment we're talking about pro wrestling. And how about this? Because I actually have my shit together now, I could actually have guests on the show from all different walks of life to talk about various topics via Discord.
And of course, DSP had to call PPP profoundly overweight. And of course, there's the elephant in the room that is Cat. Then as you can tell, PPP and Cat are basically the same weight. Then you can tell he really wants to hit that goal. He wants that money. So within seconds of getting a super chat, he says, "Now I've got a question. Who's gonna be the next person to support and hit the goal?" It's been a while. 43 minutes. That is right. He's back to timing in between tips and support and chastise people for not hitting it faster. So today, DSP is gonna play Oblivion Remastered, and here's a reminder of how the last playthrough went.
Okay, are you ready? Fuck. Fuck. What the fuck? Dude. This system is complete shit. It really is. Look. It's the worst lockpick system I've ever seen in any game. Why the fuck? It was all the way up there. It doesn't make any sense. The system doesn't make sense.
Now, the really funny part about this, if you look at the top left corner, lock level, easy. That is right. There needs to be a DSP level where you press one button and win the game. Okay, so DSP was hyped up to play Blueprints over Oblivion because he believes it has to be played because people will be upset if he doesn't play it. Well, let's see how Blueprints went for DSP.
I should market the banana song. If one thing holds true, it's very simple. All right? None of my detractors will ever pay to support me in any way. It's just simple. They don't. You know, we tried that on Smark guys having a grill fill segment. Hey, if you support, we'll do this, we'll do that. There'll be more grilling fill. They don't want to do it. They want to basically, they want to make fun or whatever, but they don't want to play the game, and they don't want to understand that supporting me allows me to continue to do stuff, and then they can continue to do what they want. They don't care. You know, they're not well-intentioned. They never were. They never will be. Oh, that's it. From John Flickinger, do you have a dream mansion? Are you very content with your upper middle class gated community in the suburbs of Emerald City known as Seattle? I don't want a mansion. Too much work. If I was filthy rich and someone else cleaned and took care of it, that's something different. But no, I don't want to take care of a mansion myself. It's too much work. So thanks for the $2. But guys, come on. We're at 118 with only 15 minutes to go. Let's do it. Don't let it go. Lara and Sa. I can turn the darkroom back on. At this point, do I want to turn key cards off? DJ Trump did a highlighted message. Put this towards our goal. The goal is not highlighted messages. Please stop. I mean, seriously, don't joke about this now. We're at the end of the stream, man. Okay.
And for 3 streams in a row, DSP did not hit the goal. And he was pissed. And you can tell he talked to the whales, he talked to the dolphins after this stream, and he demanded they start supporting. And apparently it looks like Philip Paul Burnell uploaded the DSP jerks off on stream to a porn site. Then you know, with an idea for DSP that might actually work. DSP should come on stream once a week and start crashing out, destroying his setup, cussing out viewers, and demanding money because he's off for the next 6 days. That's an idea I can get behind. And then earlier in the day, there was a bunch of $1 tips from Biffy, and apparently that Biffy account was an RTU dent. Shocking, I know, shocking. And DSP was not happy with Kick. He demands they start paying up, because they're slacking, dude.
Who's going to be our first tip of the night? Who's going to be the first person to gift a sub on Kick? Because Kick has been severely dragging their feet this week. I've lost something like 80 to 90 subs on Kick and only gained like 10. So I'm down like 80 subs this week. We need to get them back. That's right. We need to hit those goals. Starting now. Don't you want to see Chipotle for the first time ever on DSP Tries It? I know I do. Victory Vic 100 with a $10 super chat says, that is a sweet shirt. Good luck. Thank you, Victory Vic. Why is the leaderboard all screwed up? I think.
And now he plays Oblivion on the night stream. There's no way this could go very wrong, right? We're gonna see how well he does in the lockpicking since he's had all that practice from the previous playthrough, and also he's gonna take jabs at Andy Worski and much, much more. Let's see how well this playthrough's going for him.
Everyone, let's hit the goal tonight. If you can believe it, again, we didn't hit it earlier, and just listen to how close we were at. $125. And we didn't hit the goal. We hit 125 and didn't hit the goal. That's ridiculous. You know? Let's hit it tonight. Let's exceed it tonight. Let's hit multiple goals of support tonight to make up for the fact that I didn't hit my goal 3 streams in a row. That is completely unacceptable. Absolutely ridiculous. We must hit the goal tonight, especially with the amount of people that were demanding Oblivion on my first stream. We must hit the goal tonight. Let's do it. Who's gonna be some people will hold on. Put their money where their mouth is. Anyway, Orksky. You guys think he looks like Andy Worski? I don't know about that. Orksky. Are you saying he has some coke in the mustache? Is that what you're saying? I can't, okay. I can't name him Orksky because he's taller than 4 feet, okay? So it just wouldn't be appropriate. Anyway. They were good looking, weren't they? You like seeing them up close like that, don't you? That's what you were asking for, right? Of course. Oh, no. Shit. I forgot how to do it. I've totally forgotten how to lockpick. I can't remember it. I've forgotten again. It's been 2 years. I can't remember how to do it. Why is it so stupidly, ridiculously hard in this game? Why can't it be easy? What the fuck? Why am I in a different menu? Why can't I just go right to the load menu? What is this? Why am I in a different... There's too many menus now. Can't do it. I still can't do it. I still can't do it. Oh, more lockpicks. Thanks.
And at one point, DSP wants to do the exact same character he did in his previous playthrough, so he has to look up his own playthrough to see what he did for that character. And what he does before gameplay now is, come on guys, let's do it, $50 right now before we start gameplay. Basically holding the gameplay hostage for $50. And people were not giving him $50 for this gameplay at the start. And he said they're playing hardball and being stingy about it. And of course, what does DSP do in every single game he starts on PC? He messes around with the settings even though he doesn't know what the settings do. And his audience has to tell him how to fix things in the setting as well. Then he also let the mask slip a bit. He made a joke about Keemstar being bald. Then realized he made the joke and said, "Oh, I'm just kidding. Shout out to Keemstar. I'm just joking, dude." But of course, if anyone made a joke about DSP, it'd be the end of the world. They're a mouth-drooling moron. And also, in a moment that's absolutely hilarious, DSP changes the text size to large and still finds it very tiny and barely able to be read. And then he gets a tip. And then if you're wondering how fake these tips are, DSP gets a tip, but then says, "I can't put your name on the leaderboard because I forgot what it was." It's almost like, Phil, you have the email there with their name and you can just reread it. But of course, you know, for that to happen, the email and the tip have to be real. And of course, the meth head, Cypress TV, back again, guiding DSP how to play Oblivion. This is the new thing DSP's been doing, well, not really new, but new-ish. Whenever someone donates on YouTube, he now shames them for not donating on Kick. That is right. You give him money, and he calls you a fucking idiot for not donating on Kick. What a great, positive, chill environment. Then we have this, where chat asks, are Kick subs broken? Because DSP's not getting any subs from Kick at this point. DSP, no, I think Kick viewers are broken, ack. And DSP was all about channel points, because last week, he finally got channel points on Kick, and one of the advantages is that you can use those channel points for highlighted messages in the Kick chat. And DSP says he will not read highlighted messages while playing a game. It goes even further than that. He is now saying, because Kick is not supporting him, they're not giving him money, he is not reading the chat from Kick. Then we have Captain DCW, the guy who does the haikus. "Hey Phil, me and Mom finally found a place 30 minutes from work. Time to start packing up for the move." Imagine giving someone money to tell him that. How much of a loser you are. And not only did he do that, he gave him a $100 tip that saved the stream. And then super chats and memberships at the end of the stream started coming in. And of course, DSP saw it, but he didn't say anything. So he could milk more money out of his dents. And then tomorrow night, DSP is gonna try to pre-order the Switch 2 online. I mean, there's no way this could backfire on DSP in a major way, right? Then we have James C. Anderson gifting 5 DSP memberships. And look at this old man. It's almost like it's a bot account that was inactive that OIC now has as a sock account. And of course, Daily Rap is all about money. As he put, Blueprints Fun, Oblivion premieres, and final, which I think is supposed to be finally, goals are back. That's right, 10 minutes of begging for support. And also, scolding Kick Chat for not giving him money. And look at this thumbnail. Look at the face. Why would you put that face on the thumbnail? Who's gonna click on this with that face? And now, let's look at Wednesday. And we start off today, looking at the rules of DSP Gaming. And look at rule number 2 and 3. Absolutely no referencing of detractor/hater content. Please stick to the topic of the stream when appropriate. That is right. Only he can bring up detractors. And don't talk about anything, especially sports, other than the stream. Now these rules will be extremely funny considering what happens tonight and the next day. And you've heard of McLovin. Well, this is McBaggin. And then we have Jangareems in the chat. DSP Gaming, you're missing out on Fatal Fury, man. The game feels a lot more old school than other FGs right now, and the online is great. DSP Gaming, I don't care about Fatal Fury. I have more than enough other stuff going on to learn another fighting game. In fact, I'm glad I'm taking a break from them. Tryhards have ruined the fun of the FGC. When the meta of the game is spoiled during the beta, you have a problem. Then Jankareems, spoiled? Dude, the game wasn't even finished. Nothing was spoiled. The final release is completely different. DSP Gaming, no it isn't, LOL. And it's funny that he's given up on fighting games after what, 3 different copies of Street Fighter 6, 3 different battle passes, 2 different fight sticks, PlayStation Plus, switched out buttons on his fight stick, and all the microtransactions for costumes and music. All that spoiled when he could have got the blood work for Jasper. And you're never gonna believe this, guys. Yet again, the Kick Badge special deal is back on. Remember, it's only a one-time offer. And now, he is just sitting on stream telling people, support him on Kick. He needs the support. He needs momentum. And then finally, someone donated 10 subs to DSP on Kick. But DSP, being the grateful asshole that he is, said, you can only afford 10 subs, and basically called him a broke boy. Imagine telling someone that's giving you money that doesn't have to, that's all you're gonna give me. Then remember his huge rants about content creators and YouTube channels doing giveaways, how they're exploiting their audiences. Well, guess what, guys? DSP wants to do giveaways, and he says during his next clean out stream of his closet, if he hits $5,000 on that stream, he will do giveaways of autographed vests. But remember, he said it only benefits one person when you do giveaways. But when you do DSP Tries It, everyone benefits because you get to watch him eat food. And it's exploitive of your audience if you do giveaways. It's predatory, he said. And he announced tonight he's gonna try and pre-order the Switch 2. And one of the places he's gonna try is Walmart. Remember, Mr. High Values, High Morals would never shop at Walmart. And Phil was so happy he finally got some money last night, and he declares the dry spell for money is over. And of course, when you say dry spell online with a LOLCOW, immediately they think of Cobra, and the jokes happen from there. And even Past the Remote says Phil needs tactical soap, which I reply with, he needs soap in general. And DSP retconning yet again, where he said he loved blowing bubbles, but it was just too messy to continue. Now, in my mind, in reality, I remember him saying it's kiddie shit, and he's not doing that stupid shit anymore. Telling people to grow up and get over it, and saying, bubbles, bubbles, how about you take the bubbles and shove them up your ass? I remember that. And not only is he looking for $5,000 on the closet stream, he also at least wants $3,000 on those closet streams. That is right, he wants between $3,000 and $5,000 to clean out his closet. What a jackass. And also keep in mind, the last time he did this where he cleaned out his closet, it was 3 streams. So think about that. 3 streams at $5,000, he wants $15,000 to clean out his closet. And now DSP is begging his audience, please, please, let's hit 1 goal in the podcast. Then we can hit another goal on the gameplay. That is right. It is no longer $300 for the day. He now wants $300 a stream, so $600 a day. Even though he begs every 5 minutes, sometimes less than that, it's all a joke, dude. He's not serious about it, and especially when he keeps saying, I want $3,000, I want $5,000. It's a joke. And the detractors, they don't get it. Do you get it? No, they don't. Do you get it? Do you get it? Do you get it? I hate that fucking phrase so much. And the detractors are making up a narrative that he's greedy, when he's not, dude. He's an honest dude.
So, that's what I'm thinking, right? But here's the thing. We just did the awesome birthday marathon, and I did 2K in 1 day, which is superb, which is outstanding, which is way more than I ever expected. And still, thank you guys for those who supported that birthday marathon. You guys are absolutely amazing. All right. But we didn't even come close to the 3K. So it's what I mean. Like, it's going to be a really, really tough thing to do. This might be a challenge for me that might take a long time to hit. Okay. I think I can do it. I really do. I feel like I can do it. Could it be the vest and hat retirement situation? Like, could that be the event that would do it? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe. Now, could we set a goal like that? I mean, maybe we could. All right. Maybe we could. I have to think about it. Like, how exactly would we do it and how would we set it up?
And RTU has to be the dumbest motherfucker on the planet. Even to this day, he keeps ranting about how Phil is scamming his audience and how can anyone support him, given all the stuff he's done and said to his audience. Well, guess what? Here is RTU giving him $10. And remember too, RTU has sock accounts that he admitted on his stream that he trolls Phil with by giving him money. What a jackass. And I pointed this out. Remember after RTU did a react stream of Secret Limited's WWE Champions video, RTU said he was done supporting DSP. He then made sock accounts to tip him, which he admitted to doing on stream. He took out loans because of money problems to support his kids, but keeps supporting DSP. Then we have this from PWOP. This is what DSP-isms was made for.
What do they call it? Just like towing water or whatever, towing the line, where they just never really did anything interesting with YouTube streaming, and because of that, there's nothing to offer you.
Towing water, and then we go into towing the line. He means treading water. He did double power. PWOP got double there. Towing water and then towing the line for treading water.
I'd love to do some special things for the YouTube viewers.
Now DSP himself thinks he's a healthy person, and now he's gonna get health advice to all those mukbangers who eat 100 chicken nuggets in one sitting.
No, I would not do a unhealthy food challenge, NJZ. I'm 43 years old and I don't want to kill myself. You know, the whole idea is that in the last several years, I changed my lifestyle. You know what I mean? I stopped eating fatty foods constantly. I stopped eating red meat. I took, liquor out of my diet constantly. I started going on walks. I started going on jogs. So I told you I have a treadmill. I took off a whole lot of weight. And I don't want to go back there because I want to do a food challenge of eating 100 big nuggets. That's pretty stupid. I'm not going to do that. Vegan, no, I'm not going to go vegan. That's ridiculous. I love meat. There's no reason to not eat what you like as long as you eat it in moderation. And that's what a lot of people just can't do. They think that eating insanely unhealthy things, is just commonplace. Oh, it's fine. It's not. It's not. All you got to do is make little lifestyle changes. And then you're not going to have these issues anymore, Okay, let me put it this way. The whole point of changing your lifestyle to be healthy isn't so that you can then pull stunts that put you right back to square one and then you have to undo the hurt that you just did to your body. Do you understand? The point is that once you've made the lifestyle changes, you stick with them and now you're healthier. Like permanently. Rubber banding back and forth is awful for your body. I think a lot of people don't understand that. They do things like crash diets and things. And then, now that means I could binge and I could go eat whatever I want nonstop and do crazy, unhealthy things. No, that's not the point. The point is you make the change so now your body is better, your metabolism is changed, and now you can live a better life. Not you go back to the old practices. How many people, are in a bad situation, they go for that quick fix and then they don't stick to it? That's bad, right? It's awful.
And it seems like more and more people are bringing up PWR in DSP's chat. And not only that, they're trolling him by asking for DSP tries it, Burger King. But DSP is not having any of that.
All of you stop talking about stuffing your faces with delicious foods. First we got Moon One Night saying he's eating a Roadhouse burger. We've got Eddie Chill saying he told his mom to F off and then he went and got Burger King. Don't tell me about any of this because, again, if we hit 30 goals, I'm going to get Chipotle for DSP Tries It. And I would love to do it today. So far, we're halfway to our first goal here on the stream. We just hit 76 bucks of support. But we're probably not doing it. We're probably not hitting it today. So I don't want to hear about all the delicious food you guys are eating. Your wife is making homemade meatballs, Cade. How dare you tell me about that? I'm very upset with you now.
Let's be honest, Cade does not have a wife, that bitch-ass bitch. And despite Phil saying he can afford to get anything he wants because he makes good money now, he's not poor, he's not broke, he's now gonna say he doesn't have any money to invest in stocks. It's funny how you're poor when the narrative fits it, and you're rich when the narrative fits it. Funny how that works out.
All right, we got to read this journal, then we're going to split the part here. Excuse me. Okay. I received a $2 tip From John Flickinger. Random question. What kind of stocks would you buy if you had the money? I have no idea. I don't know anything about stocks and bonds because I haven't researched them in a zillion years because I don't have the money to do that. Maybe one day I will. But for me, I think it's better to spend it on important things and save the money than be frivolously investing it in things that are volatile markets. We're $108 to support.
Then DSP goes on break for 15 minutes, comes back to install his air conditioner. Remember guys, he values your time unlike other content creators. Then we have the freak in the fedora with a quote from DSP. So someone offered on Kick Phil moral support. Phil's reply was, "Thanks for the moral support. Now, how about the financial support? I wonder why people hate you, Phil." Then a thought from Bunny. Phil keeps crying at Kick for not supporting as much. Well, maybe if you didn't treat them so badly and brag about being paid by Kick, then turn around to harp about money, then maybe they might want to support. True words, true words. And look at that. Out of nowhere, to hit the goal, Brandy Buck with $20. Of course, you know, Brandy Buck, the person that's been in chat the whole time, always talks, one of the most regular people out there. And of course, their account was from January 2nd, 2007. Remember earlier when we had John Anderson with that old account? Almost like OIC is buying up old sock accounts to make it appear that DSP has longtime fans. Then we have Big Papa Phil, who is Timbo, who went bankrupt 3 times for DSP, say this in the chat. What he does is not easy, and people need to understand that. Good luck on bankruptcy number 4, Timbo. Now, if you've seen paywalling from DSP, you've not seen this kind of paywalling from DSP. He's begging people for $150 to hit the goal. And if he hits the goal, he'll play and progress in the main story quests. That is right. He is now holding story progression in video games to monetary goals. A new low for DSP. And not only that, when he gets it, he doesn't even play the main quest and then begs for $300. Then we have the cancer liar Boogie, who shows off Garbage Pail Kids, and this one is DSP. And it is DSP the Dented with his past due bills and his bill for WWE Champions. And look at these thumbnails, absolutely horrible, especially the titles. Not Your Daddy's Imps, and Into the First Gate. What a loser. Then we have some band names on Kick from the day before, including Sugar Tits and Cardigans, Kirk and No Sleep Real Vibes in a Figure 4, N-Word Slayer Real, Hawk 2 of 420, DSP Defends Sweet Baby Inc., Dave's Big Coloring Book, Cat's Roast Beef Labia Smells, Force Fake Positivity Real, The Gun Show 1488, I Call Him PPP Now, The Daily Bag, Panda Fertile Cat Baron, Tism Schedule Overload Real, Audience Means One Whale, Begging His Business Get It, Last Real Friend Was Rambo, and of course, Gout Gaming Real. And another dumb thing from DSP. DSP believes that oyster crackers contain actual oysters. And of course, because DSP is always good at telling stories, amazing with that, so funny because everyone loves his humor, we have this from Piece of Peace who says, "Wow, what an amazing story, you actual fucking retard."
There you go. And, ladies and gentlemen, it is absolutely official. You ready for this? Does this play here? I think this does. All right, ready? Ladies and gentlemen, I have air conditioning. Finally, I installed it. It was way too hot earlier. I couldn't take it. And I said, I'm going to just install the air conditioning. So I did. I couldn't take it. So it's in now. So now I will not be sweating these next few days that it's going to be 70 plus degrees in full sun outside. Instead, I'm going to be nice and cool. I don't think you should hear it. I have the craziest setup. So I have the air conditioner, and right in front of the air conditioner is a tower fan that oscillates and blows the air conditioner air through the room. And then in front of that, I have my air purifier running at like level 4 out of 8. So basically any air coming in is getting sucked in and clean. It's like the crazy ass setup. I've never had it like that before. This should be like the best setup possible. Hopefully it keeps all the equipment in here cool and clean and good. So yeah, I know. We need it. It's getting so hot. I almost, no lie, I was playing Oblivion earlier and I was having a great time. And then all of a sudden I started to get cranky and I started to sweat. And all of a sudden I started getting a headache. I was like, oh my God, it got so hot in here. like so ridiculously hot, and I couldn't concentrate anymore. I said, fuck it, and I just dropped everything, and I put the air conditioner in the window. It took like 20 minutes, but I got it done. And with these new blackout curtains, they're supposed to insulate. So once the room is cool, they're supposed to hold the cold air in here so we don't constantly lose it like we used to with the old crappy setup I have with those blinds. I guess we'll see. All right. Correct.
And DSP is tired of waiting for money. You give him money now, at the start of the stream. Do not wait for last minute, dudes. And this was absolutely hilarious, because remember, tonight, he's gonna try and pre-order the Switch 2. And he says he will seriously go to GameStop tomorrow if he can't get a Switch 2 tonight. There is no way he's leaving the house, especially going to GameStop. The trolls are there, dude. Don't mess with him, dude. You don't know what you're talking about. He's not paranoid. It's the trolls, dude. And now he's trying to justify getting the Switch 2 from Walmart. It's okay, because in DSP's words, they will not make anything from him. That is right. Morals, values, they all go out the window as soon as DSP can benefit from these corporations or situations he finds them in. And then Gelgel points out why DSP potentially wants to buy from Walmart. And the fact is, he can put it on payment plans. Man, those must be stacking up like crazy right now. And would you look at that? He had to go into overtime, and the whale came out. What a shock. What a shock. And now we have DSP online shopping at Walmart. That is right. The day came where DSP made a Walmart account and is now shopping at Walmart.
All right, I can't show you my payment information. You're in line. Hold my spot and keep shopping. I'm in line at Walmart. I'm in line at Walmart. It says I'm in line for 2 items. View and leave. I'm in line at Walmart right now for both Switches. One that has Mario bundled and one that doesn't. Okay? Welcome back, Jay. Says, okay, Best Buy still has nothing. I'm in line at Walmart. Best Buy still has nothing. Nope, still can't do it on Target. Still can't do it on Target. I'm still in line at Walmart. It says you're in line for 2 items. I can't do anything. I'm in line. Okay. Checking Amazon. Amazon still has placeholder that doesn't work. Okay. Okay. Being in line is a good sign. At least I'm in line.
Now, it was really funny because at the start of that clip, he said, I'm not going to show my personal information. Well, guess what, guys? He showed his personal information, including his address and his order number. I wonder why this would be a bad idea to show your order number on stream, Phil. I wonder why. And then it was revealed that DSP has another device specifically for email. Remember, he ordered that iPad to take notes on WWE programming, but now it's probably WWE Champions. And then something happened, you'll never guess this, since he put the order number all over the screen, posted it online on his stream. His order for the Switch 2 was cancelled. And DSP is blaming the trolls. That is right. He put his order number online, and it's the trolls' fault. And he put this out on Twitter. When people say I over-exaggerate the amount of harassment I receive, I always tell them they're wrong. Someone just broke the law to impersonate me and screw me out of the Switch 2. Here's the story. And of course, I'm gonna straight up tell you exactly why it got cancelled. So there is a limit of 1 per household, and DSP ordered 2 to the same household. However, he always has to have a boogeyman. He has to have a bad guy that he has to go up against that he can blame when he does something wrong. And also to rally his people, his retards, so they can give him money to make him feel better. Because remember, he did nothing wrong, he did everything correct. And the daily rap, titled All Goals Hit, but trolls break the law to screw me out of Switch 2. Now this is funny for a few different reasons. One, he's manufacturing drama again because his views are down, his support is down, and he knows drama sells. This is like, oh my god, I got robbed. I can't believe it. Remember last year? And he's like, oh, I'm shaken about it, but I'm gonna be okay. And then it was revealed his shopping bags got stolen at the grocery store. Same thing here, blaming the trolls, blaming other people because something he did. And now, on the Daily Wrap, DSP's gonna explain exactly what happened.
Well, everyone, this is the Daily Wrap for Wednesday, the 23rd, 2025. I actually already filmed a Daily Wrap, and it was a really positive, great one. And now I have to refilm this an hour later at 11:16 p.m. to tell you how messed up my situation is when people say things about how Phil over-exaggerates and Phil constantly is just talking out of his butt. So here's what happened today. We had two great streams. The first stream was Oblivion Remastered. Great fun. We hit the goals. Then the late stream was also a great stream of me building the first half of my Lego Piranha plant. We hit the goal again, which means that tomorrow we're doing DSP tries at Chipotle, and that's awesome. At 8:55 p.m., I attempted to get the Switch 2. I was going between multiple different websites, including Best Buy, Walmart, Target, and more. Couldn't get it from anywhere but Walmart. Added 2 to cart. Actually checked out both the Mario Kart bundle and this regular Switch 2. Regular Switch 2 was coming June 5th on release day. The other one is coming June 8th. Great. Checked out, paid, good to go. Finishing up my work, turned the stream off. Okay, I'm going to film the Daily Wrap. As I'm filming this Daily Wrap, I announce, hey, I got 2 Switch 2s. What a great day. Everything's amazing. And then I check my email where it proceeds to tell me that both orders have been canceled. Does it say that it's because of an error on Walmart? No, it says I canceled the orders. So I'm currently talking with Walmart right now about someone socially engineered my account on Walmart.com, and through basically very basic information, what it must have been, because it certainly wasn't anything crazy, they got access and canceled my orders. So now I don't have a Switch 2. I was going to get 2. I was going to keep one, maybe give one to my wife, maybe have a backup in case the Switch 2 failed at launch, because that's what happened with the Switch 1. Maybe eventually do a giveaway. And now I have nothing. So I want you guys to understand again that when people say that, oh, DSP exaggerates or whatever, no, they actually do this stuff to me. This is why I refuse to give any personal details about anything in my life. This is why I will not film anywhere in my house. I will not do IRL vlogs. Anything that I do that's information, they use to hurt me. So I worked my butt off tonight getting 2 Switch 2s, and now I have nothing because these people screwed me. I don't even know how they got access to the account. I'm talking to the rep right now, which is the noise that you're hearing, bling, bling, bling. So here's the deal. Tomorrow, Level 1 podcast and the premiere of Claire Obscure Expedition 33, and we're doing DSP tries at Chipotle on the first stream. The second stream will be Minecraft Chill, but I'm not getting a Switch 2. I have no means to do so. They're all sold out everywhere. I had them, and someone socially engineered my account and canceled my orders. If anyone has any means to get one, I'd appreciate it. If anyone's getting an extra one that I could buy off of you for the real price, I'd appreciate it. But it looks like at this point, I can't cover the Switch 2 because these people are scumbags who break the law, impersonate me, and do awful things to me and my family. And this is just another example of that. Have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow.
And now Thursday, where DSP is going to lose his mind and lie like crazy. But first, we have Nerd Brew Boy Summer with snack pizza for your 2:20 a.m. craving. Then we see Younger Phil with Big Milkers. Then at 4:01 a.m., DSP puts this out. The amount of troll cope is amazing, as they of course invent conspiracy theories of how I'm responsible for someone committed identity fraud for the 1,000th time in my name. I will explain the entire situation on tomorrow's podcast, and hopefully we can come up with a solution. And yet again, posting this on Twitter, On Thursday, we'll talk about it on the podcast about what to do about Switch 2 now that the trolls have committed fraud again to screw me out of it. Then we had Clyde Baxter in the chat. Why did he show the email with the order number? LOL, usually he's super paranoid about sharing anything. And then DSP, shut up LOL, that had nothing to do with it at all. I swear to God, people are so moronic about this stuff. It's always my fault when people commit crimes against me. But believe the narrative of mentally ill internet bullies over me. Go ahead, stupid. Then Duty points out, DSP had 2FA enabled, so there's no way a troll could get access to his account. Walmart has an anti-scalper system that searches and cancels people with multiple pre-orders. Because remember, there was one per household, he ordered 2. That's what actually happened. Then a quote from DSP, I worked my butt off to get 2 Switch 2s and they ruined it. That is right, him going on the website and pre-ordering it, according to him, is working his butt off. Then you can tell nobody was buying his story as he started removing comments on his daily rap who called him out for the lie that it is. And this was one of the comments that he deleted. It wasn't social engineering. I just had to call and use your order number you showed on stream as proof of purchase to cancel. Good luck on launch. Now I have a theory on this. He could have ordered 2 and known that it would violate the 1 per household and get the order cancelled. Then reorder one without telling anyone, then beg for a sympathy donation of the second one so Fat Cat can have one as well without paying for it. And during this huge rant, DSP claimed that the trolls once tried to file divorce papers for him and Cat. Then DSP went in a rant about how somebody got access to his account, changed his password, but DSP then got into the account even though the password was changed and saw in real time people taking things out of his cart and putting them in his cart. But the question is, how did you see that, Phil? First of all, you can't see things in real time. You have to refresh. And second of all, if they changed the password, how did you get in? Because you can't have 2 people logged in with 2 different passwords on 2 different sessions at the same time. And it's funny because he said he never got an email about the password being changed. That's quite funny. Then he was also blaming the Walmart customer service employee that they fell for the person trying to social engineer his account. And he says the problem is because customer service is from the other side of the world. Then of course, we got the ultra bitch Cade here who gives him $5 and says, they are obsessed with wanting you to fail, and you never will. You have a home, wife, hobbies. They have their parents' house, tears, and anger. Now let's hear from DSP about his totally real story that totally really happened.
And I said, obviously, I did not do that. So the first thing I did is I logged in to my account, okay? The thing is, I have various ways to log into everything. I make sure that I'm not limited to only one way, all right? So I have all these backups, these, safeguards so that I can log into things multiple different avenues. So I logged into my Walmart account to find out that someone had access to it, okay? And I could tell because they changed the password on the account, okay? In addition, they started messing with the account, meaning they were adding and removing things to my cart. So I'm thinking, how could this possibly have happened? All right. And as I'm doing that, trying to figure it out, they canceled my second Switch 2 pre-order right in front of me. And I'm like, wow, well, this is pretty messed up. So, of course, I try to contact customer support, and I tried to get them on the phone, and I'm not even kidding, they hang up on you.
And then DSP again was saying that the second Switch 2 that he ordered, maybe he'll give it to his wife. Maybe he'll do a giveaway, or maybe he'll keep it as a backup. Imagine being the wife and going, oh, okay, well, I might get you this, or I might give it away to somebody else. Your wife should be above your dents there, Phil. And the fact that the other thing is, you could buy 2, put 1 in storage and be like, oh, sorry, Cat, you can't play that. That's my backup Switch 2. What a scumbag. And then Phil said something really weird. So he said years ago, he had to redo things with his bank because people committed identity theft. DSP just basically confirmed that the bank leaks are real. And DSP also said he's entitled to a Switch 2 because he's a content creator and he wants to use his hard-earned money, Come on, guys. Why is no one giving me money? Come on, guys. Let's go. Why you slacking? Better pick up the slack. Give me money. Apparently, it's hard-earned money, so you could buy one. And then the rant went all over the place, and at one point, he compared himself to the Grinch and Whoville when talking about his career online. Then he said, and I quote, "When you mess with Darkside Phil, people rally to support Darkside Phil. Now remember, in Jew the King's documentary when he interviewed fans of DSP, they were mentally not there. And a quote from that documentary said, I see him as my buddy. He needed help, so I gave him money." And that's what DSP is all about. Creating these situations where the trolls did this, the trolls did that, feel sorry for me, give me money. And you know how I know this works for Phil? Look at that. $50 from Habib. I feel bad for you. Hope this helps. And then at one point during the rant, he said he can't do fan lobbies because people would get their information and fucked with on his stream. Then he tells people to fuck off for asking for fan lobbies because he knows better than them. Then we have this from Bland Polecat, where they contacted customer service from Walmart with the order number, asking them what happened with it. So Bland, are you able to look up order number to see cancellation reason? And then puts the order number. Walmart, yes, I will be checking that for you right away. Then at the bottom where it's circled, Walmart, I can see that the cancellation reason is due to that you can only have one item from this category. There you go, we got him. Then also DSP said he doesn't care about the Switch 2 games, he just wants to unbox it and test it out for day 1 views. And he says this is what people expect from him. And if you think about it too, how many games in the last year has DSP played on Nintendo? How many games has he skipped on Nintendo because he didn't think it would do well on his channel? Now DSP is going to add more onto the lore of what happened with his Switch 2 being cancelled.
Now, a few things actually happened that you guys aren't aware of. Number one, because I bought the 2 Switch 2s, one of them went to my bank account, and I tried to do it for the second one, and my bank account thought it was a fraudulent transaction and froze my account. So I had to contact the bank to get the account unfrozen. It was really stupid, okay? The other one, I went through a different payment method, all right? That's how I got both Switch 2s. So actually, the orders were a little staggered. One checked out at one point and one checked out at another point via different payment methods, okay? So as soon as the stream went offline, I had to sit and wait on hold, all right, for like 40 minutes with my bank to get the bank account unfrozen so that I could do other things and pay bills and things, okay?
And this whole rant was a huge crash out. And now at this point, he's talking about how he's winning tournament after tournament in Street Fighter 2 Turbo. And DSP also says he doesn't understand why people hate him in the modern age, because the hate against him is not wanted or logical. It's only believed by brain-dead antisocial people. Then said, we're all jealous of DSP because we see him winning every day. And then we have Lord Diaz. Phil's showing more aggro towards the Switch 2 pre-order being cancelled than PPP calling his wife fat. Then in a crazy way, he low-key admitted the only reason he's around is because of the detractors, and says the detractors are the reason people support him, and says if the detractors stopped talking about him, he would probably vanish away. Then he's still going on a huge rant about how successful he is. And immediately after he talks about how successful he is, he jumps into how he needs support on Kick and has lost a lot of subs and wants to hit the goal. And then he went into the story of the Comcast employee as well, yet again. Then of course, every time there's drama, every time he wants to create a narrative, what he does is he gets these fake messages from former detractors that have seen the light and now they're fans, and tells DSP that they're all jealous of him. And now that they see his stream, they know it's all BS. And someone pointed out right after this that it sounded exactly how Phil would sound. And DSP responded by saying, it sounds like an intelligent person, that's why it sounds like it was written by Darkside Phil. And then the topic of Twitch came up and how they mistreated him. Then he was happy because apparently some people are getting like their 4th or 5th year badge on YouTube. And he said the Emerald Crown looks good on paper, but not in chat, so he doesn't know how it looks. And then DSP yet again doesn't understand how people hate him in modern day. He says he can understand back in the day, but not now because he's changed, calling his old content problematic and brings up his stream to pay his taxes. And now DSP is going to go off the deep end, talking about trolls and the Switch 2 and it goes all over the place.
So enough with your, oh, Phil deserves it. Phil showed the email. Phil said he bought it for Walmart. Phil ordered 2 Switches. You're fucking stupid. You're the dumbest motherfucker on the planet. Kiss my fucking hairy ass. Someone went out of their way to commit a federal crime to stop me from covering the launch of the Switch 2. And now it's time to fucking suffer. Because here's why you're gonna suffer, you dumb fuck. You ready for this? Why do you think I have been around for 17 years? Do you think it was chance? Do you think it was coincidence? Do you think that for some reason I just magically stayed? Ladies and gentlemen, the reason that I'm still here after 17 years is one fucking word. Perseverance. Get it? I don't give up. I don't fail or falter. I don't fall down on my knees crying, oh my God, it's all over, they got me. Instead, when people fuck with me, I use that as motivation to continue forward positively, to keep sticking to my guns, to keep doing what I know is the right thing to do. And that's why people still care about Darkside Phil in 2025. It's not because I sold out and became a shill like one half of the internet. And it's not because I became a toxic bully who gets into drama and awful content like the other half of the internet. It's because I am a man alone standing on an island making content the way no one else dares to be different, to not hurt others, and to say no matter what you throw against me, you're not gonna hurt me. I am the rock face upon which the waves crash, and I never fucking crumble. Get it? It doesn't matter what you do, what you fucking say. It doesn't matter how you portray me on the internet. I'm going to be here every day, streaming, making meaningful, positive content for my viewers and audience till the day that I decide I am done and I hang up the mantle of Darkside Phil, the streamer and content creator. I decide my destiny. I am the master of my own fate, and there's nothing any of you can do about it. You fooled someone in Pakistan or India into thinking you were me, and you logged into my account and you canceled my pre-orders. So what? I'm still here. I'm still streaming. I'm still gonna play a game today. I'm still gonna make content. I'm still gonna make a living. And guess what? When people fuck with me, more people support me. You stupid, incredible, brainless idiot. When you mess with Darkside Phil, people rally to support Darkside Phil. That's why I'm still here 17 years later. Do you know what the King of Hate moniker meant? It didn't mean that I was a hateful individual who wanted to crap on others and be a bigot and a sexist and a racist and to insult Hideo Kojima like all the morons said it was. The King of Hate moniker is that when people hate against Phil Burnell takes all of that hatred and vitriol against him and he uses it as fuel. He throws it into his fucking engine and he burns it up and it propels him forward with energy and vigor to make positive content and to be successful. I own the hate against me and I use it to push forward positively and succeed. And that's why I'm here 17 years later. No matter how many morons have tried to end me, I'm still fucking here.
Now I found this really funny. And tell me, who does this sound like?
It doesn't really matter how much money you make or how much money you have. That's really the thing, because I'm not asking you for a large financial contribution. If it cost $20 to sub, $20 is quite a bit of money. $20 is you can get a full meal for $20. And the difference of $20 and eating a meal is in that $20. Like, that's where it is. But a sub is $5. At maximum, in whatever your currency is, it's maybe $10. And it doesn't matter how broke you are. If you have time to watch Twitch, you have $10, truly. If you don't have $10, you probably don't have time to watch Twitch because you should be working. You should be trying to earn money. It's not a ton. It's not like a ton of money. So being like, I'm broke, I can't afford to sub, that doesn't really track. What you mean to say is, I'm so irresponsible with my money, I can't support the entertainment that I enjoy. That's what.
And then DSP had this whole thing where he was claiming his air conditioner was stinky and that's why the room smells. And then he says this right after. I haven't vacuumed this room for like a month or two. When I turned on the AC, it was stinking. Maybe it's the air conditioner making the air stink. I'm probably gonna have to get an air freshener. Remember, he's got mold in his walls. His air conditioner, right after this, he said he found out was dirty and he can't clean it and might have to get a new one. Think about all the food that has been dropped on that floor during DSP Tries It. Think about all the loads that happened on May 1st and beyond, and all that combining to smell up that room with all those electronics in it. Absolutely disgusting. Then we have this clip from Side Scrollers where they noticed the hand gestures that DSP makes.
DSP pre-ordered the Switch 2, and look, this is not good. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Like, don't do this. But it's also kind of his fault in doing this. But let's just kind of go through the saga with him really fast.
Confirm. I got it from Walmart. Of all places, I got it from Walmart. We did it, guys. That was a nightmare, but we did it 100%.
Oh, I'm muted. But did anyone just see the hand gesture he just did?
What's that?
No one else noticed the hand gestures he was just doing?
Let's find out. Hold on.
Wait.
I'm sure
That's highly inappropriate, Blabs.
Yeah, well, ridiculously inappropriate, Blabs. What's wrong
I'm
with
sort
you?
of like, wait, what is he doing?
Blabs! Come on.
Sorry, it was right there. It was too golden. It's DSP. You have to.
Oh, damn it, Blabs. Like a flash in the
I
chat.
really hope
over
everyone
here.
memes him.
Flash over here. All right, let's see how this goes.
Of all places, I got it from Walmart.
Oh,
We did it.
no, Blabs! No, I cannot
Sorry.
see it. Now I can't unsee it, Blabs. Look what you did.
Can you go back and play the very beginning of it though? Just for
What's wrong with you,
prosperity. It's too funny.
Damn, Blabs. You want me to
Play him making that hand gesture, please.
You want me to full screen it too?
I need it.
Damn,
It's just
you're fine, Blabs. Here,
I want to
Blabs.
clip it.
Here we go, just for Blabs. Full screen. Here we go.
That's right.
You know-
Let's clip this shit. I'm gonna
Here we go.
timestamp
Go
45,
ahead, Blabs.
45.
Here we go. Here we go. With no audio, just for you. There you go. Nice. There, good
Listen
job,
how
Blabs.
quiet Blabs got.
Yes, Blabs over here just like, hey, look.
Wild as hell.
I'm clipping it. I got
Of course you
timestamp.
Golly. You're evil, Blabs.
Yeah.
You're the
And when DSP says he inspired people in gaming, this is what he means. As Games Radar had to put out an article, how to lockpick in Oblivion Remastered and get more lockpicks. This is your influence, DSP, on the industry. And DSP got his food, and look at all these disgusting faces from DSP. And this one, you can tell his teeth hurt, poor hygiene, what a loser. And he's also gonna complain that his food is not mixed for him. Maybe you can ask your wife to mix it for you.
Oh my. Well, one thing I could certainly say, they made no effort to mix it up. They literally just said scoop, 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 lid. So I'm going to have to mix this up if I want any attempt at having flavors combined, or else I'm going to be eating a layer of cheese, a layer of sour cream, a layer of tomato, a layer of peppers, and then the chicken, and then probably the rice underneath. Right? All right. First off, here's what I'm going to do. Right here, there's a piece of the chicken. It's sitting by itself. Okay? So, I'm going to taste just the chicken by itself at first. Let's see how this tastes. Ready?
Devour.
Well, it's way overcooked, but it is still soft and moist. It's very sweet. And then on the back end, it hits you with spice. So it has a back end burn of chipotle. All right. So here's what the bowl looks like, not mixed together. I'm going to attempt to mix the bowl up and see what it'll look like if everything's mixed. As you can see, like I said, they made no effort to mix anything in this bowl at all. I see the corn salsa they just put right on top of scoop. There's the corn. Holy moly. Like, how am I going to eat this? It's going to be a messy meal. It's going to go everywhere, right? I'm going to eat that thing off there. Onion was stuck. This is very messy. Like, and it's heavy, so you can't, like, how do you hold it with one hand and eat it with the other? It's too heavy. You got to have it on, like, a flat surface. Too much cheese. I didn't know they were going to put this much cheese. It's, like, way too much cheese, in my opinion. I don't even see that much chicken. Like, where... There's the black beans. I just found them. They're right there. This is not going to be evenly distributed in any way. I barely see any chicken. Do you guys see much chicken? I don't see that much. I see a whole hell of a lot of beans underneath. Tons of beans. There's a giant clumps of rice. But where the hell is the chicken?
Then DSP played Minecraft, and he got confused by the fishing mechanic in Minecraft, and complained that the game is not telling him what to do. His audience had to tell him how to hook in a fish. And then retcon things again about Minecraft, saying the first time he quit because it became all about building stuff and not fun like now, how he can chill with his audience. That is right, he was complaining that he had to build in Minecraft, and then the money was not coming in, and he's complaining that he hasn't got support in over an hour and wants a delicious tip, and the money was still not there. So you know what that means, the one-time offer for kick badges is back, and you give him $20 and you can name an animal, dude. Then someone was joking around saying, I'll give you money if you can do a backflip on camera. And DSP said, because he's skinny now, he can do a backflip. Not like before, when he was fat, he couldn't do a backflip. But he can't now because of his back. And the money was still not coming in, and now he's threatening to wage quit Minecraft if people don't start supporting. And then he had this to say about the Kick users.
Well, no one is taking me up on my offers on Kick, so I rescind the offers. Forget it. I'll not do the offers anymore. If no one wants them, I give up on them. No more. All right. I would like to say if It's a Me Ken is still here, I want to personally thank It's a Me Ken, because It's a Me Ken was insanely generous during my birthday week. It was a stream before my birthday, and then my birthday stream gifted an insane amount of subs. So thank you so much, It's a Me Ken, for that. That was really, really appreciated, man.
Then DSP finally got some Kick subs, and was a user called Zangief Backshots with 10 gifted subs. And this is the thumbnail for his Chipotle honey chicken. DSP tries it. And also during that video, he said the honey chicken is sweet tasting. Amazing, just amazing there, Phil. Then he was complaining that he lost 100 subs on Kick. I wonder, Phil, if that has to do anything with Dr. Lexus not being there anymore. And look at this thumbnail, looks like he shit himself, which he titled Switch to Fallout, Expedition 33, DSP Tries It, and Minecraft Fun, the Daily Wrap. And that brings us to Friday. Let's see how the week ended for DSP. And we start today with Bullet Bait 604. And I read this, I was like, this is the opposite of what DSP is doing. Just banned one of my top gifters. Always remember that your content and community is not built off one person. If they want to hold support or money above your head and tell you they will make or break your career, you're probably better off without them. You hear that, DSP? Think about this with OIC and all the socks. And it appears that DSP's neighbors have sold their condos and new people are moving in. Can you imagine you move into a new place and your neighbor is Darkside Phil? What a hell that would be. Then we have some comments on the video DSP made about trolls, committed fraud, and robbing him of his Switch 2s. A lot of pre-orders were cancelled. Take the tinfoil hat off, Phil. Why would you show your shipping address and account information on a live stream when you know trolls will do something like that? What were you thinking, Phil? So let me get this straight. They sent you an email about canceling the order, yet they haven't sent you an email that they changed your password. Come to think of it, they didn't even log you out when they allegedly changed your password. I'm sorry, Phil, but this story doesn't seem to add up. Walmart isn't a bank, and there's not really a reason for a CES person to doubt someone when they have that much personal information. And of course, just like he did after the 666 podcast, straight out of fucking hell, he banned anyone mentioning Walmart, just like he'll ban anyone mentioning King Snake or the 666 podcast. Then we have this from the Kick Chat. DSP Gaming Real, are you not aware? We're all checking your Walmart order now. We've chatted with help as well. They said it was a stock issue, laughing my ass off. Here's proof you used the card ended in 2792. You're such a liar and so easy to catch, laughing my ass off. Then DSP went on a rant because people were saying, well, you do retro games for a viewer's choice. And he said, setting up an NES emulator is a lot of work. Then also went on to say, there's no way to capture retro consoles.
Dr. Ding Dong, there's no way to play playthroughs on retro hardware because there's no way to capture from retro hardware. For example, if I could get a working PS1 and play an ancient PS1 game and do it on my modern setup, that'd be amazing. But how do you do that? It doesn't have HDMI out. See? No. Carlos says you could just buy an adapter. Wrong. The things that you're talking about don't really work. They're horrible. They used to sell them for the Wii and stuff. They're garbage. Those adapters that are cheap. Oh, it's $10. You can play HDMI on your PS1. Lies. What happens is it completely destroys the signal. It desyncs the audio in the signal. The signal ends up being blurry and shitty. They're awful. That's why they're $10. You have to get like an advanced, really good thing to be able to do it. And they're expensive and they're complicated. There you go. Dumpstack says Retro Tink 5X Pro is what you want, but they're very expensive. Let's see here. There's one here for PS2, N64, Dreamcast, Saturn. It claims it's $80. Claims there's no lag. It's called Retro Scaler 2X. Yeah, they look like they go for roughly around $100. Good ones, that is. Good ones are around $100 from what I'm seeing. Wonder if they really work or not. I don't know. By the way, I don't have PS1 hardware either. Show the record.
Then DSP declared he's excited because he finally tonight gets to eat Italian food. And he hasn't had Italian food in a very long time. And apparently his wife is cooking some slop. Then DSP reacted to the PlayStation trailer for RoboCop. Remember, the PlayStation trailer. And at the end, he was confused because it only lists the PS5 and thinks that RoboCop is an exclusive to PlayStation. Imagine that, Phil. PlayStation trailer not showing any other platforms. I mean, what were they thinking, dude? Then again, he will do this till the end of time, ranting about Rambo and Howard not telling him they were upset with him. Even though he did a whole react to them, he still doesn't understand the problem. Then DSP hit the goal on the pre-stream. However, when he went to gameplay, he only made $40 during the gameplay. And he complained that he didn't get any money except for $40 during gameplay, and then threatened to wage quit the game if people don't start supporting it. Then someone asked him, would you ever get a watch? And this is DSP's response to why watches are useless.
No, I'm not into watches. I feel like a watch at this point, to wear a watch is just, it's a thing of luxury that you don't need. And, you know, everyone has a phone that tells time. So having a watch is basically a show of like, oh, affluence. I bought a fancy watch that looks good, right? You don't need it. It doesn't really serve a purpose. So I don't have one.
Then I found this very funny. So DSP has a Kick bot, and it promotes his own streams on his streams and says that his stream on Kick is 100% crowdfunded. It's quite funny how the hourly pay now gets memory hold so he can beg for more money. And now DSP, yet again, is going to complain about another new game where it's not being supported. And you know what happens when games are not supported. They could go ban, 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 gone forever.
It's considered a discount title, but low-effort annual games are full prices backwards. Thankfully, the game already seems to be a huge breakout sales success despite being on Game Pass. Yeah, can I be honest with you? Like, I'm excited to play more Expedition today and moving forward as a playthrough, but I'm going to be honest with everyone here. I'm nervous. You want to know why? Yesterday, when I started playing the game, attendance dropped and support faltered. Like yesterday, we hit the support goal before the stream started. And then as I was playing the game, guess how much I raised? $40 during the gameplay segment. So does that mean today when I start playing the game, all of you are going to leave? And then it's going to be low attendance, low engagement, low support playing this game? Because I think it's good and I want to play it. It looks like it's a great game, but I don't want this to be another metaphor. I need people who understand RPGs to actually show up, engage, and support when I play an RPG. And I am nervous that today, already, we're going to have an issue where we're going to have difficulty hitting the goal. Everyone's going to leave, and it pisses me off. I love RPGs. You know that. You guys fully supported Suikoden. I did a Suikoden marathon, or not marathon, a Suikoden playthrough where every stream we hit my goals. Why can't we also do that for the modern RPG that just came out that apparently is amazing, right?
Then he was complaining yet again about KickChat and how they've been slacking for not giving him money this week. Then someone asked DSP, if you had a chance to tell your younger self something, what would you tell them? And this was his response.
What advice would I give to my younger self? I told you, really, the thing that killed me over the years was oversharing. Telling too much of my private life and sharing too much of my private life and making it public. And then, you know, these nutcases turned that stuff against me and used it to hurt me many, many times. You know, it resulted in horrible things happening to me that put me into a lot of problems. So for me, if I could go back to my younger self, I'd say, listen, understand that what happens online should be kept online, and there should be a separation between your public persona online and your actual private life and who you really are. You deserve that. It shouldn't be that everything is completely shared and everything is spoiled on the internet, and now everyone can use that to publicly harass you, you know, deride you, mess with you, etc. I feel like if over a decade ago, I had had that information, right? To know, because back then I was like, oh, who cares what I share on the internet? No one gives a shit. None of this means anything or matters. Do you really think when I started doing that 17 years ago, I thought that 17 years later, this would be my full-time job? I would be known all across the internet as a long-time content creator? You know what I mean? Like, no, not at all. I didn't take it seriously at all. I thought the whole thing was a joke, quite frankly. So to know that, right, I probably would have done things a lot more safely. That's probably the one piece of advice, you know? And all right, there's one other piece of advice too. It's very simple. If you're going to ever do business with others, like you're going to do an ongoing show with someone else, you're going to do content with someone else, you should have a clear-cut agreement in place so everyone understands the scope of work, what's expected, how you're going to benefit from it, whether there's pay involved, whether you're going to get other benefits. It should all be done ahead of time. Because sadly, that's where I got into big problems with my old friends working on projects and things, and then nothing was agreed to. And then years later, they reveal, oh, we were very unhappy with how that went down and everything. It's like, yeah, but you never told me. You held it in. You kept it private until only years later you let it get built up, and then you exploded. And even then you still didn't tell me. You made a public video about it that you uploaded to the internet instead of telling me privately. So how would I ever have a chance to fix the things that I was doing wrong in your opinion? And the answer is I never did. So absolutely, those are the two things. Being more private, having that separation of public and private and not oversharing with the internet, and always having clear-cut understandings and agreements in place when you're working with others, so that way there can't be misunderstandings and people who have, you know, bad feelings later on.
And DSP also claimed he stopped drinking seltzer water so he doesn't burp anymore, even though he still burps right into the microphone. It's always funny. So DSP himself flipped his camera, and you can tell every time he flips his camera or someone else flips a picture, look at the stroke mouth. Look at that, you can tell as soon as it's flipped. And then DSP had his final stream. It was Blueprints. And he says, let's end the week on a high note by keeping the support streak alive. But remember guys, it's not a streak. And there you go. there's the whale of the stream. 25 kick subs from It's a Me Ken. Now the funny thing about this is this might be the last time It's a Me Ken gives big amounts like this to DSP, and why is that? Why do I think that? Oh, look at that. DSP's top donor, It's a Me Ken, has now defected to Kino Casino.
Ken!
What
It's
the-
Me Ken for 85 subs!
Before we start,
Darkside Phil's top donator has defected
Let's
on the
go.
day of
Oh,
his
dude.
Switch 2 cancellation.
do we give him a
This man
VIP badge?
Gri-
A crown?
If he doubles his contribution right now,
We'll
we
remove
will
someone's
give him
VIP badge
all
and give
the
it to Ken.
badges,
Holy
buddy.
fucking thank
It's
you!
me, Ken.
Thank
Let's
you.
Go.
Thank you!
Buddy, this guy gave Phil like a G on his birthday. And
You know, you gotta keep
85
it going,
subs
right?
to the casino today.
Oh,
Suffer Phil.
thank you, legend,
Buddy,
king.
brother
You're
Phil
always
was
And he didn't stop at 85 subs. He went up to 260 subs on this day for the Kino Casino. Of course, there's a chance he comes back to DSP, but just like Iron Chef Sakai and all the others, they're getting tired of Phil. He's boring. They want to move on to something else. Then DSP complained there is no Greek restaurants near him. And look at that, renting Greek restaurants, another lie by DSP. And the money was still not coming in. And he says, I need your support. I gave you what you wanted. Please support the stream tonight. Also, we have abysmal support. And then goes on to say, he's in a bad mood, and his bad mood would change if people supported the stream more. And then at one point, he stopped the stream so he could look at how many people were on YouTube, how many people were on Kick, and who has supported on each one. Then he threatened to wage quit Blueprints and says the support sucks. And then, yet again, it's back. The Kick badge offer is back on the table. And that is where It's a Me Ken came in and gifted 22 memberships. And then he was shaming people for not supporting on Kick, saying, this week, it's only been 1 or 2 people gifting subs this week, and no one else. And I pointed this out, every single game he played this week, plus Smark Guys, plus Legos, he has threatened to wage quit. That is the future of DSP, wage quit everything. Then, very weirdly, DSP says he's taking time off next week. For Thursday, a doctor's appointment, to Sunday. And as Agent Proper points out, that in the leaked DMs, he talked about visiting his mom in April because she had very limited time left. And then the daily wrap was all about low attendance, people not giving money, goals, streak, blah blah blah, money talk. Then I found this funny, where Dexterdo announced that Nintendo has announced that some pre-ordered Switch 2 consoles might arrive after June 5th release date due to overwhelming demand. And I quoted this and said, imagine this happens to DSP and he can't get day 1 views. And that's how the week ended. If you like that, click that like, share the video, leave a comment below, hit subscribe my other channels on the details of the end cards, and as always, I love each and every one of you. Hope you're all safe, healthy, and happy. Peace and love.
Whispers in the dark side, where shadows start to creep. Echoes of a laugh now buried deep begin to weep. Built a castle on illusions, watching it decay. Delusions of grandeur, crumbling day by day. Raging in the mirror, fist against the glass. Can't face the shattered pieces of a tarnished past. Betrayal in the air, well it thickens like a brew. Every friendly smile turning coldly into two. rushing to fantasies alone. Dreams of grandeur broken, scattered on the floor. Reality's a prison with no exit door. Angry eyes searching for someone to blame, but it's just reflections twisting in the shame. Specters of detractors celebrating in the night, falling from the past all in endless flight. Everyone's abandoning the sinking ship so fast, losing grip on reality, can't outrun the